The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my...
And good afternoon and welcome to the Business Zone. It's Friday, March 24th, and we're pretty excited about my guest today. Gilbert will not be here today. He is in Vegas working his contract that he's very pleased with having acquired. And so we're going to hold down the show for him, and we will miss him, and we will see him back again next week. But I do have a co-host this week, and I'm very happy she chose to join me.
Yes.
Actually, the Bellas are in the house today.
Woo-hoo!
We got the Bella Network here.
Yes.
And so we're going to razzle and dazzle you, and it's going to be a fantastic show. As you know, this is the International Women's Month, and so we are showing our excellence and our power and our potential in what women can do to make our world that much better to live in.
That's right.
Isn't that right, Miss Deshawn?
That's right. Hello. Welcome.
Yeah, I am so pleased that she agreed to come on the show, and our guest, which we will introduce shortly. But let me tell you a little bit about Miss Deshawn Booker. She's a life coach, strategist, producer, and speaker. She is the CEO and founder of Maximizing Your Magnificence, a coaching, consulting, and training company. She works with individuals to get intentional, live with integrity, and manifest increase. Deshawn captivates and inspires audiences with her enthusiastic style, positive attitude, humorous delivery, and realistic messages. When she's on stage, her engaging style allows audiences an opportunity to enjoy an interactive experience that is fun, expressive, and memorable. So let me tell you a little bit. When I actually shared...
Here we go.
Yeah, right, here we go. I actually shared a stage with her at a presentation. We all did our thing, and you know when you do this, people are surrounding you, so the speakers don't really get to communicate with each other, right? Because you got people lined up, and they want to talk to you, they want your cards. But she was so impressive. So that was about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So let's roll forward to 2016. I'm at a meeting for the Bella Network, and we're all coming together.
Right.
We had never met each other, and she says something that was memorable from 4 years ago, and I went, wait a minute, I know you, and that is how I remembered you from 4 years ago.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is my sister. I love Crystal. She's phenomenal. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for allowing me to co-host with you.
Oh, and this is going to be really cool. We're going to have a great time.
Yes, we
Power
are.
Women in the house.
And
she is so inspiring. We worked together recently at the Bella Network. We were on a conference.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Changing the lives of women,
Right.
One woman at a time, right? We're going to get all of them.
We're going to get all of them. So share with us, who is Deshawn, other than what I just read on the paper?
Well, I am truly a catalyst for transformational change. That's just what I am. I didn't choose that. God really gifted me with that when he created me sincerely. And I began to surrender into that as I understood, hey, I can't, hold all this inside. I got something to give all these people, right?
Right.
And so I began to really allow the manifestation of what God has already called me to be. And so a catalyst for transformational change is just simply a person that really utilizes a variety of channels and creativity to really meet other people where they are. Mm-hmm. And then I really want you to show up for you and be bold and be unapologetic in who you are supposed to be in your life.
Okay.
And so if that's through facilitating workshops, for women, for men as well, and, coaching, training, speaking. I'm a writer, I'm a director. I write plays and do short films. And so if it's that vehicle that's being used to transform lives, then that's where I surrender.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, did you start out as a life coach, or were you really engaged in the entertainment industry first?
You know what? It really went hand in hand. I have been doing this work for a while, and I really was always a big mouth, right? I got this big mouth, like this girl's always talking. Why is Deshawn always talking and telling people something?
Uh-huh.
And so I began directing. I founded my own production company. Well, I didn't find anything. God gave me this. He said, listen, this is what you're going to do.
Okay.
And so, I went to college for teaching, of course, theater, Howard University, HU's in the house, in the building.
Right.
And so I went to Howard University, yes. I went to acting schools before that. And so I got the training, but I really always knew something was missing.
Okay.
And so I started directing and writing my own films and my own productions, stage plays. But I was always doing workshops with women and with youth. Then I started my nonprofit, Arts Creating Unity Institute. And so I believe I've been doing the work really, it paralleled one another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just been talking and teaching and preaching and, getting people to just find who they are, whether it's through a play, through coaching. So it really happened at the same time, I would say.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Because I would think in the entertainment industry or acting, because you're really putting your whole self out there. So having someone on the backside of that coaching you, because your confidence is right there on display.
Yes.
I know with the people in the industry.
Oh, yes.
A little bit more sensitive than those of us that are out here calloused by business.
Right.
So I would see where that would be a natural fit.
Yeah, actually, one of my clients is on one of the reality TV shows. I can't say which one, but it's a he. And so he came to me and said, listen, I'm on this show. I know it's fun, it's reality. He said, but I really want to tap into Deshawn more of my acting side as a professional. Not just up there sort of kind of having a written script and, going through, the motions. And so I found with even him being in front of the camera as often as he is, he still wanted to polish that actor side.
Okay.
Even he had this confidence. He's been doing these, the business that he does for a while, but he was like, I'm just not feeling confident that I'm really being authentic in my acting.
Okay.
So really allowing even those that are confident in it, they still say, I don't think I'm pushing myself to be authentic and pure, Deshawn. It still feels manufactured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right. That's really fantastic. Because even from my business side, my clients as well, you just need somebody to be your cheering, your rah-rah, that, you're okay, you're doing this, or if you flounder, no, it's okay, get back up there and keep doing, keep pushing and keep moving to your potential. Because sometimes we get all caught up in our stuff. And that stuff pulls us away from the blessing.
I just shared some stuff with Crystal just before this show, right? Let's just get real. I just shared Crystal, I'm needing a coach in my life right now. She showed right on up, and went into ABC, Deshawn. That's results oriented, right? But yeah, you're right. That stuff happens, man.
Right.
And it's big. It's real.
It's real because it's your business, is what you do, and I know when you're putting together events and programs and you put all this energy in it and it just sounds so fantastic and it's going to be great, and now you just need to get the people, right?
Get the
people. I need to share, right? I need to share this stuff, and then the people, where are you people?
Yes, where are they?
Right.
I don't know. Right.
Because some people don't even know that they need us.
Oh, say that again.
Right? They don't know that they need someone to really encourage them. And then when they do, where have you been all my life? Well, I was always here.
Absolutely.
But you guys were hesitant in being able to reach. And I always tell mine, I'm sure you do the same thing, I'm going to push you because I know you got it in you. So I'm going to be real hardcore with you. And when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then that's what we're here for.
That's what we're
supposed to do.
We're supposed
to encourage. We're supposed to direct and guide,
That's
and
right. That's
to
right,
you reach
Crystal.
the biggest
Yes.
that you are. Be
Yes.
the biggest that you
Hold
are.
that space for you, you know, so you can stand tall.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's more coaches are more of a natural fit for what you do than, because it's a little it's been more of a transition for my business people to embrace why they need coaches.
Yes. And you know, a lot of my clients, you know, they have their own businesses, or they're just wanting their second act in their life, right? Or they're entrepreneurs, or they want to increase in their lives professionally and personally, and they just feel stuck.
Yeah.
You know, and then we have to just get past, listen, you don't have to do it by yourself.
That right there is the key, is not doing by yourself. People think that they have to do all the time and hold it all in. And that's what we're here for. That's, that's why you have a coach or friends or whatever, people that you can bounce off what's going on so you can stay on track.
Absolutely. Why not stay on track? You know, I tell my clients, I have coaches. You know, it's like, I'm not just waking up by myself and creating, you know, this huge platform for myself to share, and then I'm not being deposited back into, you know, or coached along on how to really make what I'm doing, you know, effective and reach a bigger, you know, calling of people,
right?
You know, and how do you do that?
Right.
So I said, I have coaches, you know, and so it's an awesome thing, but it really is just about changing one's consciousness about that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
people are like, well, yeah. And it's like, no, come on, give it a try, you know? You don't have to have that stigma that you are a lone ranger.
Yes. Exactly.
Right?
No, and you don't want to be a lone ranger. It's so much easier to do this with a whole entourage.
Oh, yeah, give me a tribe, honey.
Yeah, give me a tribe. And that's what the Bella Network is about. A tribe, stand backing us up. So that is really, really cool. Well, this month, Deshawn, is National Women's Month. Yes. And we here at the Business Zone, we've been really paying homage to women. And actually, in January, Black History Month, I had my co-host Gilbert and I had talked about the fact that we're doing Black History all year. So,
love it. Yes.
So in January, I talked about, you know, starting the new year and what that looks like for our businesses. And then in February, we were in our very short Black History Month. So I talked about all our paying homage. So now this month, it's been about Black women.
That's right.
It's about what we've done. And there's some powerful black women out there doing some stuff.
Yes.
I mean, nowadays.
Yes. Movers and shakers.
I know.
Barrier breakers.
Yes.
Yeah,
that just, I mean, look at when you look at Ava, she's making, the stuff that she's doing in the movie. Viola Day.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, it's her time. Right.
It's her time.
Right, yes. You know, we want to move past the stigma that women, right, Black women, all women, don't need a support system.
Right.
And so we find it a little uncomfortable in celebrating one another. And we need to celebrate women at all times. And no matter what it is that we're offering and who we are, hook up with a woman, right, that is really doing just a little bit more than you are.
Yes.
Knows a lot more than you do, like I have with Crystal. Because when you do that, it really then propels you into the next level of your success.
Yeah, it does.
So women are powerful.
Oh, I tell you, when we did the Bella Network, when we were at that conference, just sitting in the room, I remember talking to a couple women, and one had patents. I was like, whoa, where am I? What room am I in? I mean, 'cause very rarely are you in a room where you got 20, well, there's 20 of us that were just on the panel.
Yes.
Just on the 20 of us, just powerful.
Yes.
That was just all that energy.
And being deposited into and just a wealth of abundance and knowledge. And then you're not just taking that in, it gets in your DNA.
It's in your DNA, right.
Wow, ladies, don't leave. My village is here. You know,
it's here.
Right. It was amazing.
It was just amazing. Yeah. And that's what we do. You put us on a mission. I was telling one of my friends this morning, actually, we're doing a big event tomorrow. We're in addition to my business life, I always have a part of my life, a part of my business world is a philanthropy. So I always give back to some nonprofit. So right now I'm loving tennis. So I play tennis every Saturday. So I'm at a park, Harvard Park, where we actually have a youth program.
I know Harvard Park.
Harvard Park. So we're sending 10, hey Marty, we're sending 10 children, young juniors to Baltimore to play at the ATA National Championship.
That is huge.
Isn't that huge?
That's huge.
So we're really excited about that. So that required pulling together some money. So we got a crowd fund going on right now. But tomorrow we're honoring the living legends in black tennis.
Nice.
And so we're doing a whole big presentation on that. And we're going to have the legends pass on the torch to our juniors.
Wow.
And so and then the kids, and then we're sending them, and then they're going to be we're going to be in D.C. from the 31st, for the 27th to the 5th, and then in Baltimore, and then we're going to tour Howard, your alma mater, and then they're going to be at Morgan State. They're going to stay at Morgan State, so we're really excited, and so it's really cool. We've been working together, and we have these 7 amazing individuals that are we're honoring, and wow, when reading their bios, like, look what these guys did. Back in when you're breaking color barriers.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that was a whole difference. And when you see us as a people, and when we're divulging and the information and the history about our people, oh my, you walk away feeling proud.
Right. And then you ask yourself, how didn't I not know this information?
Right, exactly.
Who else does it know?
Exactly.
And if we would have known, what would that have done to me? You know, to have known this information about my culture, my heritage, you know, when I was 5, 6, 7, 12 years old, right?
Exactly.
18. What would it have done, and how would it have shaped my mind?
Right, exactly. Because you would have been, I mean, hey, it's Larita. You know Larita Shelby, don't you?
Hello, Larita. We're on Facebook Live here. Hi, everybody. Hello, my people joining me. Hello.
Larita, the Morris Media Live is morrismedialive.com. And then you can check out, Deshaun Booker. I know you do.
Hello.
So you can call in, actually, Larita, 323-293-3375 and say hello to your girl.
That's right.
Larita was on the show not long ago.
Okay.
Yes, a couple months ago. She was on she was on the show right after Christmas in January, because she had an event. I went to one of her events, and she actually it was a small, little intimate kind of what you're doing, and she's written a book as well.
Okay.
And so it was very small, and we had a fantastic time on a Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can
power players, right?
Power players.
Yes, you want to be a power player.
And it's part of our natural personalities to nurture anyway.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So
that's right.
And getting past the stigma that we can't help each other.
Right.
That's where we have to be. And so that's why I do a lot of the nonprofit work that I do, because it really is just a natural way for me to do my sharing.
Yes.
And it's just usually in places in sports or activities that I enjoy. So it really makes it work.
Yes. When you were mentioning, of course, the tennis, I love tennis.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah. I took tennis lessons. I was on a tennis team in high school.
Oh,
I have my 2 tennis racks in the trunk of my car.
Oh, so you're ready?
Yes, I'm ready for tennis. I love tennis, one-on-one sport, you know. Nobody to blame but yourself.
Nobody to blame but yourself.
Boy,
and it really, and we, so we might have to come out and join us.
Yes.
We, at Harvard Park, we're being groomed. We have our own coach.
Okay.
So we're being groomed to be a 2.5 team.
Okay.
And we're going to go out and start playing tournaments.
Okay,
so
I like
you gotta
that.
Come on
yes,
out.
I will.
We have such a good time. He yells at us a lot. But I told one of the legends, he was at the park not long ago, and I said, he was saying, I came out, the weather's beautiful. I came out to enjoy some tennis. I said, well, if you want some comedy, then this side over here is called, we decided we're calling ourselves the Harvard Trotters.
The Harvard Trotters, okay.
Because we come with comedy.
Comedy on the tennis court.
On the tennis court. So we've been having a fantastic time. But so if you got your 2 rackets, you just need to come.
Yes, I keep them. I love tennis. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I played when I was in high school and a little bit in college, and then I got away from it. But these are hardcore people. I mean, my family is my sister and brother-in-law, and there's a bunch of like 9 or 10 of us out there.
Good.
And then some of the kids' parents are playing, and that's the real goal of it, is so that the kids can see that we're enjoying the sport, and so while they're over there being taught how. So the program is free for the kids.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So we're grooming them. And eventually, in fact, one of the fundraisers that we're going to do while we're raising money for the Center Juniors, we call it the ATA Bound campaign, is we're going to play a tournament with the kids.
Oh, adorable.
I know.
Adorable.
Yeah, they'll probably beat us to death, but that's okay.
What's the age group of the kids?
The kids are from 3 to 18.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you got
That's
the little,
powerful. I like
you got
that.
the little 3-year-olds with the rackets almost bigger than they are.
That's
it's
right.
cool.
That's
yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah, and they're doing some things.
That's
in fact,
awesome.
Marty Woods is the coach. He just popped in on our Facebook Live.
Okay.
He's doing, and him and Dolores Simmons are doing an incredible job with this program. But it was it's a program. It's called the Pete Brown Junior Tennis Program, and Pete has been in the community teaching kids how to play tennis way back. See, my brother-in-law he learned when he was 7, and Pete goes way back further than that. So anybody that's done any playing in L.A., they learned under Pete Brown.
Wow. Okay. Over at Rancho?
Well, some of them are at Rancho, but he was at Harvard Park.
Okay. He started there. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
So, but on the team that we're doing now, we're trying to bring all the parks together that we can. So that's what. So this is a community effort to send the kids to DC for the.
That's amazing.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yes. Very cool.
Yeah, but you got to come on out, girl. I didn't know you played tennis.
I come. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love tennis.
Okay, well that's good. Then you'll be in the right place.
I can do that.
You can do that. So what else has been going on in your world?
My goodness, really just planning for. I have an event Friday, March 31st.
Okay.
And that is my 180-degree power experience for 12 women.
Okay.
So I am looking to fill that room up in the Holiday Inn in Torrance with 12 women who are ready to truly have a reversal in their life so that they can truly reach their highest potential in their lives, and they can let go of old stories. They can continue to move through the barriers in their lives and really turn their dreams into manifested realities in their life.
Oh, fantastic.
Whether it's personal or professional, I take 12 women through 12 modules that I believe that help me able to really what I call my snap, so that you can sow natural abundance naturally into your life. You want to sow that, right? Your snap is sowing natural abundance powerfully into your life. How do you do that? Just like this, right? So I give 12 awesome and very tangible modules on how to do that.
Okay.
So that's going to be happening next Friday, March 31st, and that's at the Holiday Inn from 9 to 4. So if anyone is interested, please call me at 310-291-8519. Again, that number is 310-291-8519. Then I'm also getting ready to do my launch party. I'm having an official launching party and client appreciation. That's Friday, April 28th at the Yacht Club in the Marina.
Oh.
So, yes, we're going to go ahead and launch officially Maximizing Your Magnificence.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. I have a mistress of ceremonies, have some giveaways, some testimonials, some networking, of course, some light hors d'oeuvres and music, and really some exciting things to show people what is Maximizing Your Magnificence all about. Okay. And then that's leading into my one-day women's conference, which is in May, Saturday, May 27th at Mount St. Mary's University. Okay. And that is the Meeting in the Ladies' Room Movement, the conference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting.
Now, there's a couple of videos that you have on YouTube with this, right? In fact, I got one that's going to show in a few minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Yes, I've been doing some videos, and we're talking about, truly how to reach your potential. So I do series on different segments of maximizing who you are, reaching your potential, how do you turn your dreams into, your reality, and, 5 things, to win in life. So, yeah, I've been really working in that capacity to allow for people to get the messaging so that they can get, just be benefited by that, and begin to really walk in a new consciousness of their next level of their life.
And that's important, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is transforming, where it's going to be in relationship to women, but women transforming themselves into their full power and their full potential. And I think what's going on in our climate. Hey, Candace, I see Candace plays tennis as well. You know,
Is
Candace.
that Candace
Yeah,
from Simmons? Yes. Hello, Candace over there. Yes,
in
yes,
fact, I saw you doing a twirl in her shop.
Yes,
not long ago.
Candace. I just went to her the other day and got something else.
Okay, well,
that's one of my stylists.
So Candace says she is she plays tennis as well, and can we bring all this we can all bring the comedy.
That's right.
So we would love to have you out on the tennis court as well, Candace.
Yes.
But that's what we're going to talk about, is how we just move into our full potential and our full power, being who we are. And with the climate of the Washington, what's going on in D.C. and the political, this is a time for us to work on ourselves while all this other craziness and chaos is going on. Because if you're moving forward, you can't get caught up in the whirlwinds that are happening, because you got a plan and you got a purpose and you got a desire to make some great things happen.
Yes.
Because, heck, we don't even know what the heck is going to happen, but at least we better get ours while we can.
Exactly. Crystal, I was having a conversation. I'm also a college professor, and I was having a conversation with my college students right after the election. Mm-hmm. So we all know, where our minds were with that. And my students, were... As most of, the world was.
We're shocked, girl. They're just straight out saying,
right,
we're in shock.
And so I just addressed them. I said, listen, and these are, a mixture of ethnicities, students that I'm speaking to. And I said, what did you learn from this? We don't have time to, muddle around in this and complain. What did you learn from this? Mm-hmm. And they're like kind of stuck. And I said, listen, let me tell you what I learned from watching, Mr. Donald Trump, right, and this whole thing. I learned that the man said what he was going to do and be, and it happened.
It happened?
It happened. Mm-hmm. So I learned that if I want something, I'm not talking myself out of it. As a matter of fact, I told myself this year I was going to blow my own mind.
There you go. Wow, I like that.
So I need you to blow your own mind.
Okay, blow it.
Right. So he blew his own mind.
He did, because now you don't know what the heck to do with it.
Right, exactly. So I told my students, what are you going to take from this? Uh-huh. So you need to get it together, and you need to really put your plan together, right? I really call it, when I'm coaching clients, your playbook. Yeah. What does your playbook look like? Yeah. And blow your own mind.
Blow your own mind.
Let's not sit up and talk. I can't believe, okay, it happened. This is where we are today. What are you going to do to show up in the midst of this thing and not allow your destiny to be placed in someone else's hands?
Right, exactly. We can't be complacent. We just can't sit back and allow stuff to happen thinking, oh, it's going to work itself out. Right. No, this is why we're in this mess, because we sat there and we went apathetic.
Absolutely.
We just became, I'm just going to sit and wait this out. I'm not involved. What is it about the people? I'm not voting. I don't ever vote. Well, see what happened there.
Exactly.
You cannot be disengaged from life.
You cannot be disengaged.
We're all interconnected, because with this man in office now, he affects everybody's life, from the wealthiest to the poorest person.
Absolutely.
And if you caught up there, women, children, men, and they seem to be, it seems like it's also an attack on women right now. Yeah. I was listening to they were talking about the health care bill this morning. Right. On The View, and they were like, it's like, no, they have just cut women, like, you can't, no birth control, no this, no abortions, no this, no this, no this, no that.
You can't choose anything for yourself.
Right, right. What the heck?
Where are we going back to?
Right, exactly. Right. Women being the cornerstones, and we can't look at the women that have done such amazing badass things in this world. Yes. You discount all that for what they've done and what they've contributed to the world, and being the fact that they're the ones that bring the children to this planet.
Absolutely.
I mean, to breathe the air on the planet, and that's just the power all by itself. So we have to stay connected. We got to stay fighting. And, absolutely. And I think us as women, we're that catalyst. Yeah. Because we do have a rational mind.
Absolutely, women do, women today, think about, truly, who are you? Yeah. Who are you? And what are you going to do with who you are?
Right, exactly.
What are you going to do with that? We cannot, as you said, sit by and be passive, or wait for them my girlfriend and I always say, who's them?
Yeah, who the them
Where's
and
the
they?
phone call? Right? Where's the number? I want to call the they and the them.
Yeah.
So we can't wait for them to do something.
No, we have to.
That's right. We have to get together and create that ourselves.
Yes.
And to protect who we are, you know. And it's unfortunate that we have a man that sits in office representing, you know, the free America, right? And has no... Well, chooses. Let me say that. Who chooses to downplay women, other ethnicities, cultures, and why? Why is that happening? Why is he choosing to do that? Is it power? Is it because, you know, we want to keep it at the top and we don't want anything to, you know, to flow down? So I ask women and everyone, what are you doing in the sense of that? Though? What are you creating or recreating?
Right, exactly. Because it comes down to an individual.
It comes down to an individual.
What are you doing while everything else is chaotic?
It's chaotic,
in this world? What is your input and what is your contribution
to
yourself
first,
and then to your family and your friends, and then to the population? What changes are you making?
Right.
What impactful things that you're doing? Because that's important.
It is. We just have to stop as a people waiting for someone else to make that change for us.
Yes.
And that's such a consciousness, you know. I call it, you know, are you really in conscious living?
Yes.
You know, yeah, like, hey, you know, are you really living in a conscious mind, or are you just being what I call unconscious?
Yeah.
You kind of wake up here and there.
Yeah, when you're just kind of moving through life, floating. You're not really engaging through that in life at all. You're not being part of it. You're just kind of standing on the sidelines and watching it. And we have to get beyond that. And I think, you know, that contributes to a lot of the depression that people are encountering, and your health, your health, your mental wellness, everything. Because if you're not in it, you're just standing on the side.
That's right.
And you know, we all know from birth that we were put on this planet to do big and bold things.
That's right.
And when you're not doing the big and bold things, what happens to you?
Ooh,
right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What happens to you? Nothing happens to you.
Right. And so with that, we're going to go to break, and we're going to bring on our guest, because she's done some big and bold things on this planet, and we want to just bring us all together and talk about that. So if you can play that video after this one and her.
Greetings! It's Deshawn Booker, your maximizing coach, and I am excited. Yes! I am celebrating March Madness. And I want to invite all actors to my one-day Actors Intensive Workshop on Friday, March 25th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Studio Stage Theater in Los Angeles. Actors, I want you to come and discover how to reach your truth in performance. And I'm also going to show you how to turn your passion into profit. That's right. Let's take your blessing to the bank and make a straight deposit. Nothing wrong with that. I want you to come and shine your spotlight on your gift. That's right. And because it is March Madness, I have slashed my prices. This 4-hour workshop is valued at $360, but I am offering it to you for $90. That's right, $90. That is awesome. Where do they do that at? At Maximizing Your Magnificence. And you know what? Because I'm so excited about March Madness, I want to extend an invitation to speakers. Speakers, you as well, come to this exciting experience so that you can show up more powerfully in your presentations on the stage. And if you say, Deshawn, I'm not an actor and I'm not a speaker, but I do some speaking, whether in your workplace or even in your social settings or just your day-to-day living, yes, this workshop is also for you. So I want you to give me a call at 310-291-8519, 310-291-8519. Email me at maximizemagnificence@gmail.com, maximizemagnificence@gmail.com. Hit me up on my Facebook page, Maximize.
And we are back. Well, Mr. Sean,
right.
you look at that razzling, dazzling, the YouTube audience out there.
Woo. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get your workshop full.
Amen. That's
Yeah,
right.
We're claiming it today that it's gonna be overflowing.
Thank you.
More than people that
That's
you
right.
need to know.
That's
You
right.
know. So wow, I am so pleased. So our guest, I have another powerful woman in the house here, and she is one of those hidden figures that we saw not long ago in the engineering field. And Jovita Jenkins.
That's right. Jovita.
Another Bella.
Yes.
Another from the Bella Network.
Yes.
So let me see. Jovita, let me pull up as soon as my computer pops back up. But you probably can tell me about you faster than my computer can tell me from your bio. So tell me about yourself.
Well, now I am an executive leadership coach, an author, and a speaker, and an educator.
Okay.
I'm retired aerospace. I was one of the first black women engineers in the aerospace industry on this coast.
Okay.
I didn't know about the Hidden Figures ladies until the movie came out. But when they started, I was still in high school.
Okay.
But I should have known about
They should have talked about that when you were in school.
That's right. But nobody did. Did you hear about any of the things that engineering, on the engineering side of the house when you were in school? In fact, as a woman, weren't you told girls shouldn't like mathematics?
Yeah, which is why they never really pushed us to really excel in mathematics, actually, because that was technically a man's kind of sport. And it was almost like, if it's okay if you don't do well at math, because you're not going to have to need that anyway.
Yeah, but you really do.
You do. You really do.
And for me, whenever I was told you shouldn't like it or you don't need to know that, well, I wanted to know why not.
Okay, is that why? So when you were in school, in elementary school, you loved math?
Well, yes, I liked school. I liked everything about school. But I didn't start out because I wanted to be in math. I wanted to build robots for Disneyland.
Oh, so you were all about the whole robotics, the whole engineering thing from a child.
I fell in love in high school with the first robot I saw on television, which is nothing compared to the kinds of robots that you see now.
Okay.
But I wanted to build robots for Disneyland.
So now, did you grow up here in California? Or?
I did.
Okay. So that was all part of it. Wow. So what were some of your parents, were they behind you?
Always.
Okay. So what were some of the things that they encouraged you to do as you were growing up that kept your interest in being in aerospace?
Well, my parents always said you can do, be, and have anything you want. You just have to put your mind to it and do it. So the people who were trying to pull me down were always on the outside of my family. It was never my family. They just pushed me into whatever direction I wanted to go, and my brother as well. There's only two of us and two children in our family.
Okay.
But I grew up in the civil rights era, and I was the first generation of people who were really given an opportunity to go out and do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, we were at different times at that time, because at that time we were fighting, and we were proud of being who we were. And so we were proud to be black, and we were proud to say that, I can be, if I wanted to be the president, because about that time, somewhere around that time, Shirley Chisholm even she was in politics, right?
That's right.
And so she had talked about being the president or Congress or something or that. I remember that when I was a child.
And so had Jesse Jackson ran for president too.
Right, exactly.
At one point.
Yeah, because you came away, and I think even today with all that's going on, we are feeling like we're empowered to do something when we're rising up and protesting and fighting for what is right to us, just like they did in the 60s. I think people are really starting to connect, and it was about a month after the election, but number 45 had not been inaugurated as of yet.
Number 45.
Number 45.
Number 45. Okay.
The orange dude in the office. That's what Whoopi calls him, the orange dude in the office. But number 5, the other day she called him the guy. When the guy, before the inauguration, people, even my nephews, they were like, wait a minute, we have to speak up. We can't let this happen. And now they were starting to engage in, because before that time, you'd hear people literally say, you'd have people literally say, why do we have to keep having those slave movies? Why we got to do that?
And I'm not a history buff. I'm a futurist as opposed to a historical person. But my husband was always the history buff.
Okay.
And if you don't know your history, then you may have to repeat it. And I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And we are, in some ways, repeating history now.
I think we are, because I always say this, and you're a spiritual woman as well, Deshawn. I always say, God keeps giving you the same scenarios over and over again until you get it right.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
He keeps bringing things back to you. You're going like, why am I back here?
Right.
And so my philosophy is, if you're back here, it's because you didn't learn the lesson.
That's right.
So he let it pass.
That's right.
But it's time for you to come back and readjust it.
Absolutely.
And readdress it. And I think that's why we're back here. It's time for us to readdress. And I just love the fact that the hidden figures and that we're speaking up. Because I don't even forget them telling us our history. What happened to those women? That was a whole room full of black people.
That's absolutely
right. A whole department full of black. Nobody spoke up.
Well, that was a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time.
It really was. But we still aren't speaking up the way we should, or stepping up to the kinds of things that we really need to be considering now. We need to be a lot more into technology. We really, really should, and have a love for it. And we're into it because, we're doing Facebook Live here. Right. We're doing a podcast, which is a whole new revelation of radio, because beyond just radio, you go on the radio and you have your show. It wasn't taped. It wasn't visual. Yes. You couldn't use it afterwards, right? Right. Back in the day, you've done a radio show before, right? Absolutely. Yes. Now we can take this, clip it all up. I can put it out on when our conversation, send your copy. You can use it to market yourself. You can use it to market yourself. That's all we're in the midst of technology. Yes, but I want not just this on the side of technology that's entertainment. I want to make sure that we are behind the scenes in the organizations that are doing things like making the robots. Right, and robotics. Coming up with the technology that you're using to do your shows. Right, exactly. The ones that are really in the nitty gritty of this is how things are done. Right. Because everything is changing so much, and I want to see more of us in the aerospace companies, in the biotech companies, doing those kinds of things. Where. And there's not enough of us out there. Now, what programs? So obviously, were there programs when you were growing up, and are those programs still available to our kids today? No, there were no programs. No. Okay. So I found my way when I decided. I saw the first robot I saw on television. I called Disneyland because there was no Disney studio back then. Right. And I asked whoever answered the phone, what would I have to major in college if I wanted to be an audio animatronic technician? I was 16. Wow. So, you have to figure out, kind of look at where you might want to go, and then start trying to find information about that thing and how you can get closer to it. So that's how I picked my major in college. Luckily, I liked school. And the first thing out of this lady's mouth was mathematics. if she had said engineering first, I'd have engineering degrees.
Right.
But she said math.
Okay.
So I have a bachelor's and master's in mathematics.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And when I graduated, it was just at the time that the space race was heating up, and Rockwell was hiring anybody with a technology of any kind degree, and applied mathematics is the underlying of all engineering anyway. And I was part of a training program. And before I completed my technical career, I had some of the jobs I had, you now have to have a master's degree in computer science to get.
Okay.
But then I switched over from actually doing all the work. And by the way, I worked on some really cool programs, like the first B-1 bomber, the first space station, the first space shuttle, a bunch of satellite programs. And then I went on to the other side, the business development and program acquisition. And now my goal is to help as many people inside organizations who would like to increase their level of influence, figure out how to move up and around inside organizations. You know, what are those hidden things that you aren't seeing? I so like the Hidden Figures movie, especially the one that was played by Dorothy Vaughan, because she had her eye on where things were going and knew that if we didn't move in the direction of the technology and the way it was going, we were going to be obsolete and left out.
Yeah.
And managed to take her whole team with her.
I just thought that was absolutely amazing, because that's that
and that was me.
That was you. That
always
was the sisterhood.
looking for where things were going. And how to be on the cutting edge of where things were instead of on the edge to get left out.
And here's what I thought was also pretty interesting as well, was when she went in there and she said, okay, Fortran, and I need to figure out what, and she goes to the library and reads a book.
Figures it right.
She read a book.
That's where you learn so much in books.
Books are amazing. I mean, here are all these white guys right there in the doing their thing, and they can't figure it out, scratching their head. She goes to the library and borrows the the book that she paid for in her taxes.
That's right.
And read a book, and then went back and taught all the women in the department.
Yes.
Resourceful.
I thought that was so wonderful.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there applauding for that part.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic.
And more of us need to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Reach back and pull people up behind us.
So when you were starting out in that particular part of your career, were there other women with you?
No.
Or you were by yourself? So
me.
You were in a man's world.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
For most of my career, I was in a man's world. And it's still a man's world. I thought it was going to change more over time than it did. And it seemed for a while to be going up. And now it seems to be going in the other direction again.
Wow.
But when I started, there was me, a couple of other black men, and everybody else was white and male.
Because for a while there, when everybody was going to school, they were going to school for engineering degrees. Before they started closing down Lockheed and Hughes Aircraft and all of those, everybody I knew was an engineer at some point.
Really?
Yeah, especially out here. Everybody.
I didn't see that many of them.
Not women. They weren't men.
No,
women.
men either.
Oh, really?
Not that were women or men of color.
Yeah, I got a couple of friends. In fact, one of my friends, he's an attorney now, and his wife was an engineer. He's an engineer. Okay. His son is an engineer. He just graduated from Howard, and he's an engineer and working. But neither one of them. Wendy Yancey, she works at DWP. She's high up in the DWP, and Vernon actually is a patent attorney now. Okay. So he's still using his engineering, but he's using it for a basis of helping people establish patents and copyright and trademarks and that kind of stuff.
We need all of that too.
You need all of that.
Yes,
but
we do.
It's just amazing when I heard that when I met you at Bella Network at the conference. It's like, look at her. Look at her. But now you're in your second act, right?
I'm in my second act.
Okay.
And now my goal is to help as many people as possible, I don't care what color they are, who really want to enhance their careers inside organizations and have strategies for how to increase and enhance their careers, their circles of influence, their ability to get things done through others, So I coach everything from the beginning engineer level to the vice presidents in organizations. Mm-hmm. And it's all about how do you increase your level of influence, because in most of those kinds of organizations, you get a lot of work done through the efforts of others. And so you have to figure out how to get things done without doing them yourself.
Right, exactly.
And be part of the network.
Part of that networking. And networking is a viable part of all that we do.
It is.
For all of us.
For all of us and at different levels. But, if you're within a huge corporation, Deshaun and I are kind of out here and we can kind of enter and swim and maneuver. But in a big mammoth kind of corporation that's structured,
right.
I mean, I'm sure that's a little more difficult or challenging.
Well, for me, it's the opposite, because that's all I knew for almost 40 years.
Okay.
And then I switched from that to being an entrepreneur.
So it's a challenge coming out to do what we do.
That's right.
Which would be a challenge for us to do what you do.
Right, right. I want to just jump in and ask Jovita a question. What is it? What brought you to this place in your life now? What is it? You said, I want to help everyone, whomever, right? So what is it that brought you to where you are today?
Well, one of the things that I discovered along the way, that the higher up I got in organizations, the less fun I was having.
Oh, there's that fun word. I like that word.
Yes, and because when I first started out, it was all new and, ooh, we're going to do that? Okay. You know, that was so much fun to me. But the more political it got, and when I left, there were 200 people who worked for me, and only 4 of them were black.
Wow. Oh, wow.
But in that arena, I really liked the interaction with the other people. I was actually a coach and didn't know it. I didn't know what a coach was at the time. I think
we all kind of I fell into it as well.
And when I discovered in a meeting what coaching was from my perspective, I said, you mean I could actually help people with their leadership and their communication skills and their ability to interact with people and get paid for it?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Now that's talking passion, huh? Yes. That's talking fun.
So, ooh, okay, that sounds like fun. And so now I'm kind of the behind the scenes person, the whisperer for a lot of folks as they come up with their strategies for how to build their careers. And I like that part of coaching more so than being a life coach. So I'm an executive leadership coach.
That's right.
Which, and I think that we're in all our different capacities, which is what was interesting about when we all came, when Alicia Matson White brought us together.
Right.
It was absolutely amazing that we had 20 coaches and none of us overlapped.
Yes.
That's just was absolutely amazing to me.
Absolutely.
And Alicia was on the show about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So she was I had a guest come on, and she got sick the night before. And I had to have somebody like that. I put out a call at 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And Alicia called. She goes, I can do it. I can do it. So she came
awesome.
in.
Wonderful.
So it was really fantastic. So that's sisters. That's the Bellas,
That's right.
It really is. That is a great network. And I'm not really... haven't been a part of many women's networks, but I really like that one. And I actually saw her last night. We were at a Black Women Founders event.
Oh, wow, okay.
At Google.
Oh, wow.
So
see, Alicia, she treads amongst some real high-powered individuals.
Yes,
she does. Another reason to be part of the Bellas.
That's right.
You just don't get to walk off from Black founders of Google. I mean, come on. Amazing.
It was really
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. I go to any kind of technical event that I can, because I'm still a person who wants to be on the cutting edge and figure out where things are headed and where we need to go next. Okay. As opposed to where we've been.
Now, her sister is in that industry. She does something. She does something with the legalities, I think.
She was at the conference.
Sean White. So Alicia White Matson. Yeah, she's something she does with the legalities.
I'm not sure what she does.
You're right. It was legal.
Yeah, she travels all over the world.
She sure does, because she was going to D.C. or something after the Bella
conference.
conference.
And I think she's been in. She was in Israel not long ago, and she was in Dubai because she's on my. I think she and I are Facebook friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so they all have. You guys, so right now, where you are in engineering or chemist, it's kind of overlapping anyway into technology because that's just
Absolutely.
the nature of where we are. I mean, and with Elon Musk talking about the first flight to Moon or Mars or wherever.
With paying customers.
With paying customers.
Goodness. I don't know if I want to be on that flight.
Well, I wouldn't want to be on the first one, but I might want to be on one somewhere down the line.
I don't want to be. I'm not going out of... No, that's too far for me. That's just,
I actually think there's some people that might need to be, since they're since they're not happy with all of the people down here.
They need to be sent.
I'm thinking they should go there. What do you think?
Them send them right there.
They can go. They can create their whole. Goodness. They can create their whole space with just themselves.
Right.
And all those other little Martians that are out there with them. Then those will be the immigrants. They'll be the immigrants. Invade their territory for a change.
Oh, that's funny.
So, ladies, some of the talking points I wanted to talk about. What do you guys think are the key strategies that women can use in order to reach their full potential? When we're talking to our clients, and even how we apply that to ourselves.
I have the first thing I like to say is I hate it when I see women say things like, I don't know if this is right or not, but, and then they say what they want to say. So they discount what they are, the points they're trying to make before they even make them. And what you are effectively doing is telling people, you don't have to listen to me because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's a good point.
Yeah, well, women have been conditioned to apologize.
And we have to stop that.
For everything. And that's what that is, Jovita, right? We immediately say, oh, I'm sorry, or excuse me, or this may not be, and that's a conditioning.
Yeah.
And so that's the first thing I hear you saying, right? Let's lose that conditioning of I need to be apologetic for the very thing that I know.
Right.
For what I'm feeling, for what I want to do.
Yes.
Stop acting like I don't know what I know.
Right.
And you have to know what you know, but you have to do it in such a way that you aren't being aggressive.
Yeah.
You're being more assertive.
Right.
But you do have to make sure that you get your point across. So in my coaching, I still have a lot of the same kinds of issues that you guys have, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of how do you make your mark in the organizations that you want to make, or if you were a founder in a company, you have to be the vision of the company. And how do you do that? So it's more from the standpoint of how do I make an impact on this organization in such a way that I'm respected?
Yeah.
It's not about being liked. It's about being respected.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at, we'll take number 45, but in his business, and just the way he does business, it would be very difficult. And I left corporate America, probably about 30 years ago, because I just couldn't pay I don't do well in those kind of politics.
Yeah.
And I don't do well with people making me feel like I have to suppress what I know. And that was what I found very challenging was, it was so amazing when I left corporate America, and I was in the financial industry, so I was a financial planner, but I also developed my skill sets because my bag of tricks are important. I got to take my bag of tricks wherever I need to go. So I had developed many bags of tricks during that time. But when I left corporate America, my skills and my value was always, they were always trying to push me down and keep me, put me in a little box, right? When I left, then the respect I required that I received as a consultant was vast to what it is the same stuff. It was the same knowledge that they're now reaching out to me to provide to them as a consultant. But when I was an employee, none of my knowledge had any value to them.
Yes.
And it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's true in a lot of cases, but there are also ways to increase your value and to make them respect that.
Right, exactly. And in my field, it was very competitive, mostly males. And then I just realized, and I had a entrepreneurial spirit, but I had so many friends that stayed put in those kind of environments, and they were having the same issues or feeling the same struggles and didn't know how to deal with it. So consequently, they hated their jobs or they moved frequently,
right,
trying to find that right place, right, and it kept coming right back to that same me. I just like, if I go out on my own, then I can do my own thing, and I will get the respect just based upon the work and the value of how I market myself and brand myself.
Interesting, you just said market yourself, because earlier Jovita just said a woman definitely needs to be assertive, but not aggressive. Another conditioning that we have been taught, right? That as a woman, you still want to be... there's a sign in my office at home that says, be the boss, but act like a lady.
Yes.
Right? Be the boss, but act like a lady. And women have been misinterpreted, right? When we are being assertive for being aggressive. And then that B word is then labeled on us, right? That you're
exactly.
right. But a man, if he's strong and aggressive, right, it's okay. So where do we, Jovita, find that balance? I ask you that because you had to deal for a huge part of your life with being in a male-dominating career, atmosphere, profession, industry. How did you say, here I am, see me, without them saying you were being aggressive, yet you were being assertive?
I was really diplomatic. And I paid real close attention to what was going on around me and who were the players and what you could do in order to enhance your career without being a bitch and without falling on your sword and and groveling, because I'm not a groveler.
There's nobody at this table that are grovelers.
Right.
But yes, you're right. I don't think there's any Bellas that are
ain't no Bellas that are good. That probably, without even Alicia even making that a criteria, that's probably innately a criteria. Ain't no grovelers in this group. We some power women, man.
Right, power brokers. Honey.
Right, exactly. Yes. No, I will have to ask her that question because I don't think so. Not from the women I've met thus far.
None of the ones I've met so far have been either. In fact, I wish I had met more women like these when I was coming up, because most of them weren't.
Right.
And because they were probably more, what Deshaun was saying, they were more conditioned to trying to stay in the background.
And trying to help make you stay there too, if they could.
Right, exactly. Because you couldn't, if you started to stretch out. And that I did encounter.
That's right.
Absolutely.
If you start to stretch out and start to, your wings and flap your wings, right, and be the peacock. Oh no,
I am a peacock.
Right,
you better say that, Jovita. Say it.
I am a peacock.
You are a peacock. So am I. I'm a unicorn, honey.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yes.
I'm more like an eagle. Boy, I like to fly and I like to observe.
Soar.
Yes. Well, see, I do that too, because I pay close attention to what's going on around me, and I don't always say something until I feel it's worth saying. So I'm not just a talker.
Yeah, so you observe what's
I do
going
observe,
on.
And then I try and strategically decide what I want to do next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess that would be one of the potentials, being able to identify who you are as a person, as a woman, and without the encumberment of your spouse or your children. But this is who I am. And I'm proud of that. I know when I was growing up, my mom was one of those individuals that encouraged you to be the best that you could be.
Mine too.
And to pat yourself on the back and to always go and do everything that you did with excellence.
Absolutely.
That was
Mine
important
too.
to her. Everything with excellence. And so you see those characteristics in your work patterns and your work ethics, right? Because it's not about, even when I worked for someone, it wasn't about whether I was doing a good job for them. It was whether I was doing a good job for me and I was making me proud first.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I wasn't going to do a shabby job. Whereas in today's world, the new millennials, I don't know what happened, but they didn't quite get those same training, the training that we got, or wherever we acquired that from. Probably we had to have gotten it from our parents.
Well, I think it was really a different time, and we were pushed to be excellent, at least when I was coming up. And I'm not sure what happened to that, because I don't really see the same level of excellence showing up in a lot of the younger people. But I think they have potential.
Right, I think it's
some of them really do.
Yeah,
but then I'm sure our
said
parents,
the young people have potential, and it was almost like a question mark. They have potential.
Oh.
I have met some really sharp young folks that I can see making a real mark on the world, and I have also seen quite a few who are satisfied with mediocrity.
Oh, absolutely.
And I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of our young people, well, we call them, you know, do we...
And you're teaching, so you see it from a different...
I see it from
I've taught too.
Yeah.
Today,
and I understand.
These millennials, boy, I tell you, they have such a sense of entitlement.
Yeah, that's the biggest consensus I've
It
heard
is
about
a huge sense of,
Right.
I mean... And they don't even understand that that's not always a healthy thing.
Right.
You know, they don't get that it isn't healthy, and they don't get the balance of not, you know, believing that I need to work for something or collaborate with someone else.
Yeah.
They just get you should be giving it to me. It should be afforded to me. And then they have no patience in waiting for something to happen. I mean, they are really quick to say, why can't I? Why? Mm-hmm. And they're not quite sure why the answer is not always in their favor.
And it's interesting because even if you had that at home when you were growing up, you know, that would obviously mean you were in a household that everything was given to you at your request and demand.
Right.
That didn't happen in my house.
Didn't happen in mine
so
either.
I didn't know what that was like. I mean, if that happened, that's a real cool thing, but my mother didn't play like that. That's not how she rolled.
My mother neither, honey.
But when you went away to school, that would have changed.
Yes.
But they still, and I know when my nephew went, he graduated from the University of Dayton, and he had and it's not that we overindulged him by no means, because we want them to strive for excellence, and he was an amazing student in high school. He played basketball and the whole thing, but he had some life experiences that really balanced him out and had him think about life, because again, nothing is guaranteed for you. There is nothing that life ain't fair.
That's right.
It's just not fair.
Right. That's right.
And I think maybe we shelter them too much. I'm not quite sure what has happened, but yes, I'm sure there's potential. And maybe if they get into the right environment with the right people that can help shape them or mentors. But there's a few. I met a young lady. There's a guy that I spoke to and I met with, and really powerful. Their business is he and his wife is they have a women's auto brokerage where they help women when you go to look for your car. You call them and they make sure you get the right deal and at the right interest rate, and that no one's taking advantage of you. And they're in the intermediary. So their daughter, she's 22, and she's working from them. And I was so impressed with her. So her and her father are doing a radio show, and I heard them today. And it's like, wow, look at her. So one of the things I had to stress to her, she was saying, I work so hard and I do this. I was like, wait a minute, you're still 22.
Yes.
You still need to enjoy life.
Right.
So you got to learn how to make that balance. So she had the shapings of that, but it's coming from her parents. Both her parents are entrepreneurs.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
See, my parents were working class people. Mm-hmm. I was the first one to go to college, and I worked my way through college and with my daughter.
Oh, okay.
So I was one of those young parents and people that nobody really expected to do anything.
To do anything.
Wow.
And I have outdone most of the people that I grew up with.
Yeah, well, yeah, I probably have. If I was still on the East Coast, I probably have. Mm-hmm. Mainly just because I guess the way I chose to when I became an entrepreneur, everybody I knew was working a 9-to-5. And people were like, what are you getting ready to do? You getting ready to leave a job with benefits? What are you doing?
You're leaving your security.
Right.
You know, I've been told that more than once. When I first got my degree, I worked my way through school, and I worked for LA City College. and I worked at LACC and went to Cal State LA. Mm-hmm. And when I got my first offer for a job to go and work for Rockwell, mm-hmm. I had been in the school system for about 6 or 7 years. And people kept saying, "You're going to give up this job with all your seniority and your benefits?" But what they didn't realize was that education fixed it. So I doubled my salary walking in the door of my first job on the engineering side.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And it should have been higher because I didn't know what I should have been able to get because I didn't have anybody to counsel me or tell me.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Hey, Joshelle, how are you? Glad you joined us. So let me ask you, were you paid comparable to the male equivalents to you?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
I eventually got there. And it's still going on today. No, I was not.
Okay.
And you knew that you were not?
I did not know it then.
Oh, tell me.
I found it out later as I moved up the ladder.
Right.
And, got into the network where I could see everybody's salary. Then I figured... And then there were some initiatives in order to raise salaries so that they would be more comparable.
Okay.
And when I got to the first one, place where they were giving salaries to people who were way below, and I didn't get anything, my boss said effectively, "You should be happy."
Oh, really?
Because you don't need one of those. Because I had managed to get my salary up to where it should be with the help of a few other people inside the organization, because not only do you have to be good at what you do, you also have to be sociable, interact, become part of the network, figure out what other people are doing. What does it take to really succeed in the organization that you're in? How do you make yourself known? Because it's not so much you necessarily, it's you, but it's who knows you in that organization, and are they willing to pull you up behind them as they move up.
And that's what you're coaching on, right?
That's right.
Is how to navigate through.
How do you navigate that landscape?
Right.
Jovita, you have how many years?
Almost 40. I started back in 1970.
Wow.
So I don't look it, so I don't
No,
mind.
you do not look it. That's what I love. That's right.
I love that part.
That's right.
My daughter asked me, how can I tell people I am, Mom? I said, you can tell them whatever you want.
That's
because
right.
when they find out how old I am, their jaw's going to drop to the floor.
Right.
Exactly.
That's right.
I always say that was God. God knew that us as black women and black people were going to have a tough time. So he said, I'm going to make y'all look good. Even when y'all struggling, when you poor, when you dragging yourself down the
Crystal,
street.
say that.
I am going to let you guys look good. And when you're old, you're going to actually start regressing and going backwards.
I have a friend. I say to her every time, it's Denise. I say, Denise Hart, you are going back in time. Every time I see her.
Look better than you did when you were in high school.
Yeah, I love it. You're right. God said that. I know
that's what God did. That's why He's like, y'all going to have a hard time. But when I come and get you guys going to look good.
Thank you.
Not one. I mean, when you look at it, my grandmother lived to 102. And I remember when she first came from Alabama here to stay with us, she went to the doctor and he was going, well, what medications you taking? She goes, none.
See?
And she was like 85 at that time.
That's it.
And he was like, what do you mean none? She goes, none. Why do I need to take medication? There's nothing wrong with me. And so,
wonderful.
And she lived to be 102. Probably would have lived longer than that if she kind of went with senility, but they put her in the wrong nursing home to start out. But I have an uncle. He's 88, and he's working still.
Okay,
working. My aunt,
he get up and go to work.
He teaches. That's
what I'm talking about.
He teaches.
I'm going to do that too.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
If I'm not dead, I'll be learning something and trying to pass it on to somebody.
Last week, we got some health challenges, and we were talking about current affairs, current events. He reads the paper every day.
Yes.
We were having chit-chat about that.
Amazing.
And I mean, a little bit of memory stuff, but not really. Because I can have a conversation about anything, and he remembers it.
Yes.
So it's just, it's us. If we live live into our magnificence.
That's right. Live into your magnificence. Maximizing your magnificence.
Maximizing your magnificence.
That's right.
You can do whatever. I don't know if you guys, the lady, her name is Ernestine Shepherd. She is the 80-year-old woman. She was on Harry, what's the musician, Harry?
Oh, yes. The talk show?
Yeah, she was on his show.
What is his name? You're saying Harry? Yeah, what?
His name is Harry. He sings, he's from New Orleans.
Connick Jr.
Jr., right. So he has his own talk show. So she was on the show yesterday. And Ernestine, I've known her I've seen her. She is from Philadelphia. And when she turned 52, her sister died of diabetes. She had never exercised a day in her life. And she decided because it was her sister's health. So after that, she said one night she was talking to her sister. They were very close. So in her, having a conversation with her one night while she was sleeping. And she was like, okay. She said her sister came to her and said, don't let your life end because I died. Make your life mean something.
Yes.
So the next morning, she got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and she started walking. Or 4 o'clock in the morning. This woman has won a Miss Olympia. She got muscles.
Really?
She looked. Our bodies don't even come compared to hers. So she was on his show yesterday, and she was flexing, and she runs she has her own aerobics class and her own fitness class. She competes, and the woman's body is out, and she's 80 years old. But she started competing. She reshaped her body at 50.
Yes. Yeah,
that's wonderful.
And she said I had never played a sport. I had never picked up a ball.
Wow.
She was just not an athletic person.
Yeah.
And then when her sister told her that, then she went to the gym. She started walking first, and then she started going to the gym. So she lifts weights, and then she started entering. So you guys have to look her up. So audience, look up as Ernestine Shepherd.
Okay.
She is amazing.
Now, see, I want to jump in on that.
one,
you said something so juicy. You said she reshaped her body. We need to reshape our mind.
Right. Absolutely.
We don't reshape our mind.
We need to get out of our own way.
So
get out of the book that I wrote.
So what is let's go right into it.
So Jovita has written a book called Get Out of Your Own Way.
That's right.
Because that's what that comes down to, right? Because a lot of times what holds us back from redefining ourselves is us.
It's us, right.
Because we tell us that, no, we can't do that. No, I can't do that.
Oh,
the kids got to do this. Yeah. This has to happen. That has to happen. I'll put it off.
Mm-hmm. We're always waiting. One of the questions that I ask my client, right? My clients is, what are you waiting for to do what it is you want to do? What are you waiting for? And a lot of times we're waiting for more money to be in the account. We're waiting for the kids to grow up, for someone to leave the nest, for someone to finish college, for me to get the car worked on and fixed. We're waiting for, my tax,
my tax return.
Hello, right? We're waiting for ...
Right.
And if we just keep waiting and waiting, we're not going to reshape our mind. We're not going to reshape our bodies, right? Inside and out. We're not going to get out of our own way, right, Jovita, as you wrote in your book, and do what we're supposed to do.
Right, exactly.
And it just continues to fester and be this dream deferred. Langston Hughes talks about that. And what is a dream deferred, right? It just does what? It dries up like a dry prune. It's just dead.
Exactly.
And we do that to ourselves, and we just wait. I did that. I was always waiting for, I call it the da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And the da-da-da-da doesn't show up.
Right, exactly. You got to create the da-da-da-da.
Say it,
right?
Crystal.
You got to create the da-da-da-da. Because you could have easily, when you retired from aerospace, a lot of individuals that retire, they just go into, that's what they do. They go hang out at the park. They play tennis. They play golf.
That is so boring.
But
I do play golf.
Okay, well, that's good. and the women stay with their grandkids.
That seemed like that take too long for me. The golf game.
Well, and for you guys in your tennis, running around that court, that takes, I don't like that.
Okay.
But I love hitting the golf ball.
Okay.
You like tennis at Harvard Park, because I tell you, we'd have you on the floor laughing, girl. The things that we do, the characters that are out there with us, it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious.
Give me a good golf course any day.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've gone out and tried golf, but when I was dating this guy, and he was heavy into golf, so we went out, and so he's like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to play golf. So when I was trying to work with the golf club, so when he had one of his friends come over and was going to instruct me, and he's like, those things in front seem to be keeping you away from that.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
So he said, because you can't seem to get a good swing past them with the golf club. So I think tennis is a better move for me.
Yes, you said, well, this may not be my game.
May not be my game.
Okay.
I was a skier at that time anyway, so it's all right. A little slow.
Cute. That's cute story.
But a lot of people, a lot of retirees, they kind of sit down. They done worked hard. So for you to say, okay, I'm gonna leave corporate America and redefine yourself, because that's basically what you've done.
And that was the whole point when I left. I had a small company for a while, and the first thing we did was we got a contract with the New Orleans airport.
Okay.
And we were going to be the small business outreach contractor for them. And we got the contract 1 week before Katrina.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
So that made it a worthless piece of paper.
Yeah, that did. Yeah. It was nothing for you to contract.
No. And
wow.
It was part of what happened to our house in New Orleans. So my dream house was in New Orleans.
Oh, so you were in New Orleans.
I was here, but my husband was born and raised there. So we were kind of going to go back and forth, and he was going to run our business there, and I was going to run here, and we're going to travel all over the world, because he was already in economic development and did a lot of work in Africa. So we were just going to travel and have fun.
Okay.
And make a lot of money.
That's right.
But that didn't happen after that happened, huh?
Oh, that happened. My mom got sick. He had surgeries. So, life kind of intervened.
Right.
We planned, and the universe laughed and said, no, I don't think that's where you're going.
But that's why what you said, Deshawn, is why we have to do this now. Because
that's right.
Tomorrows
You never know.
And your plans
promised.
are not promised for you.
Yes.
So putting off waiting for the da-da-da-da.
Right.
Katrina happens. The recession happens. You get ill.
That's
so
right.
You can't put off being and developing who you're supposed to be.
And then you have to redefine yourself more than once. I have in my speeches that I give, in my seminars, I have a chart that shows my career leading up to my career, all of the things the programs that I worked for, the little icons that show them. And then I have a chart that says, and here is my roller coaster since I retired.
Yes. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to tell you guys why I have so many bags of tricks.
Okay.
Hey, you got to.
This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and we'll be back in a moment. That's why I have it.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop. and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
And we are back. Welcome back. We've been having a fantastic conversation with Jovita Jenkins and Mr. Sean Booker, my Bella Network girls. We talking about redefining and the power and reach of the power of the woman and us reaching our potential, because we never know when life is going to give us a curveball, or as Jovita says, when we ride on the
roller coaster.
On a roller coaster. Somebody just said your show is rocking. Thank you.
Right.
That's why I got some fantastic guests today. But you never know. So it's about how do we unleash our power? Absolutely. I mean, every year I decided that whatever I was going to do is going to be done with intention.
Yes.
So my theme song for last year and for this year is living my life like it's golden. Mm-hmm. And so whenever something comes up, I'm like, yeah, okay, what I need to do, how I need to do it. Yeah. And I don't let things like money. Someone called me yesterday. We're like, well, do you need capital for your business? I'm like, really, no, because I have so many my own skill sets that I can make something happen before I have to get to a place where I need to be in debt about it, because I'm resourceful. Right. And if I don't know how, I reach out to other people that know how. And I think it has to come down to us working together and saying, what are you good at doing, and how can we work together to make our businesses work and grow?
We want to be resourceful, decisive, and coachable.
Yes, coachable, important.
Right?
Important.
We pull back from the coachable, I got it. I know how to do it. I don't want people to think I need to get help, because I want to show up and have it all together, because then that shows that I was brilliant, I'm smart, that I'm worthy, that I validated myself. But we want to be those three things. You want to be resourceful. If you don't know it, you don't have it, ask someone. You want to be decisive. Stop saying, I'm not sure, I'm going to do it when it looks like this. Just pick a side.
You got to pick a side. And when you reach out to other people, the tennis program that we're doing and the events, and we're sending these kids to Boston and to Baltimore, when we all came together, and there's 4 or 5, there's like 15 of us, 10, 15 of us working together. Well, we had to raise $20,000 to make this happen. Oh my! Yeah. So you can't do that by yourself.
Sure, that's right.
You have to reach out to other people, because we all have our spheres, our network of peers that we can reach out to ask us on the behalf of. So we as a people have to stop doing things by ourselves.
Yes, Lord.
We can be so much more impactful if you're handling, say, in the aerospace, the engineering, and the math, and bringing young people into the technology. If we're working all together on that particular project, we can get more done if there's 10 of us working there than just you, or you're inspiring those to be better than who they are, or me. You know, by the time you done got them pumped up over here, when they'll come over to me to say, okay, let's start this business. We're taking action. And okay, wait a minute, I need my cheers. Let me go back over here to Sean so she can pump me up from my confidence level. Then Crystal can get me, okay, you need to do this, the technology. Yes, you need to be on Facebook. Yes, you need to be here. Yes, you need to be here. Yes, you need to be branding yourself.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right. And the thing about coaches, we're all three sitting here power broker women, as I want to say we are, right? Bella Network, right? But we all have a different background and expertise. How many years, do we have individually in our areas of expertise? Jovita's been doing leadership organization for how many years, right? In your sleep. So if someone comes to you and say, hey, I need this, you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, there you go. Right, Jovita?
That's right.
That's just how that shows up.
Right.
But we're so concerned with how we look to other people.
Right, exactly.
And
wanting to hold on to it. You guys ask me, every time I get with Crystal, she gives me some new stuff.
My goodness. Crystal has everything. Jovita and I have made it. Jovita.
When it comes down to technology, Crystal is our go-to girl.
We were in the room at the Bella Conference Network. We were in Jovita's room. And it was a break. We were having some moment to, decompress. And Jovita asked one question, and boy, Crystal went into her bag and had, you need this? Bam. Oh, here's this? Bam. Did. Oh, this is for you to do a video, and this is for you to record this. And have you ever done your own videos and flyers? And have you shot yourself with your own? No, what are you talking about? Crystal, well, this is so you don't never have to use someone else's battery for your phone. This is that. Jovita and I were like, just excited.
We bonded in that room.
And we bonded in that
Crystal's
room.
technology.
Right. And we made a decision that she wasn't going anywhere out of our circle. Right? I was like, I'm good. I'm sold. If you were doing a commercial on yourself, I was like, yes, I'm in.
And I never even did a commercial. All I did was like, here, you need this. And then, when we were driving up to Hollywood, when we were going up to that event, and then Jovita's like, hey, wait a minute, I got to take out my notes. Crystal's talking. I got to take out my notes.
And I did the same thing on the phone. Remember, I called you. I was asking you for vendors, for venues, for an event of mine. And she started saying all this. I said, wait a minute, you're talking. Okay, wait. Crystal's talking. She's not even talking just about venues. She went into something else. I'm like, what is that you just said? Where do I go to get that? What website is that? So you want to be around others that have their own lane that is going to do what? Increase and bring magnificence, if you will, to your lane.
To your lane. And not be afraid to share that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, because even what you did navigating, even though it was in the corporate world, we could learn that because we weren't in that world, right?
And now I'm in your world, and I have a space in WeWork, and I'm in the entrepreneurial scene more than I ever thought I would be. And so mine is kind of transitioning because we also need to find out how to function in the work world of today. And it is changing.
Oh, it changes every day. It is not, however, last year, the way I did business is different this year.
Absolutely. Me too.
There's new things that are coming to me that we're changing. You're changing how you reach out to people to come to your events.
I'm in the lab on that one, right? Yeah, go back to the lab.
You have to go back to the lab because how do you connect to people? How are you getting them in? For many years, and I totally know what you were feeling earlier when we talked about, filling your room, because, you're thinking a person's in business and it's important that they need to manage their financials and they need to have their books together and whatever. So I used to do QuickBooks workshops starting in December, leading them up for January. Okay. And I do December, January, February, right? And I would do these 4-week classes. Or 2 weeks. I do 2 weeks, and sometimes they were doing a week, and sometimes they were on the weekend. One time I even gave up a couple of my Saturdays and 4-hour classes.
Wow. Okay.
I'd have like 4 people in the room.
Oh.
And then throughout the year, whenever they needed a loan, oh my God, I don't have any financials. So now you got me all stressed out because you want me to help you do your books now, or I need to do them. but nobody would show up for a class.
Yes.
Nobody would show up for a class. I was canceling classes because nobody would show up, right? So finally I said, okay, I'm not doing this no more. So here's what I'm going to do to you guys. I will come to your site.
Okay.
And I will teach you how to do it on your site.
But
you're going to pay more.
That's right.
For me to come to you, and then eventually I'm going to end up doing it. So it's going to cost you.
Right.
End up costing you about $1,200 versus worth $99 for me to teach you how to do it. But if you want to pay more money for it, I don't have a problem with that.
Absolutely. Have gas, we'll travel. So then, of course, when I start doing that, people calling me, do you have those QuickBooks classes anymore? No, don't. I can come to your site. That's right.
That's right.
But I'm not wasting my time to market for classes that you guys are not in.
Yes.
But we really wanted it. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Because I did that like for 2 whole years, and it was all part of my thing. And finally I was like, I know. So now the only way I'll do them, if another organization is putting them on, and then somebody else is paying for it, I get paid up for me going through all that, because and here we go. We have the Metro Rail coming down Crenshaw, and a lot of businesses lost their business and couldn't be reimbursed because they didn't have any financials.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Crystal.
Yeah, they couldn't come up with a P&L to show how much money they made and how much money they spent.
That's another topic. I was going to ask, why?
Because a lot of our businesses, and that's why it's so important by what we do. One, what you do is encouraging us not to be fearful.
That's right.
That's important.
That's right.
That if you're not engaging, you're making a statement that I'm fearful.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
So you're invaluable. You're valuable for that because, and by the time I get them, and then you are valuable because teaching you how to navigate yourself, how to set precedents and how to network and connect with the people that are valuable to you and your business, not just for the present, but for the future as well. Right? And then so when they get to me, they're not afraid to move. So a lot of the times they're not, well, I don't want anybody to know, oh, my financials, oh my God, or my credit's bad. Well, do you think that's going to be that's a lifelong illness, or what is that, terminal?
Right.
No.
Right.
That means you got to go do something to change that, right? Because that changes. Yes. I mean, there are people, I was just talking to somebody the other day. I had a client, she prided herself on having a 900 FICO score. She was in the mortgage business. Wow. And she taught classes on how to maintain between an 850 and a 950 FICO score.
Oh, my.
Right? The recession happened, and they took away her line of credit and dropped her FICO score down to 6. She almost died just from the fact that, because that was her pride.
Yes. Yeah. But that was her leverage.
That was her leverage, right? And it gives you leverage. But here's something took place that had absolutely nothing to do with anything on her part.
None. Yeah.
That was outside interference. And that's what happens in life. Outside interference.
Right. It sure does.
So how can you redesign yourself when you have outside interference?
Ooh, resiliency, right? That ability to bounce back. Right. I call it changing your blueprint. You know, we have this blueprint in our lives, right? I'm going to grow up. I'm going to get married or not get married. I'm going to have children, go to school. I'm going to attain this amount of money a year. I'm going to invest in some businesses. I'm going to travel. And then the unforeseen happens. Right? The ebbs and flows of life happen.
Yes.
And then you say, well, this was but I'm holding my blueprint. Yeah, well, let's throw that away and let's start over.
Yeah. And you have to do that more than once.
Because
I've had to redefine myself about 4 times already.
Wow.
Since retiring.
Since retiring.
Well, there you go.
I want to ask Jovita a question there. Jovita, what has been one of your challenges in redefining yourself?
To start with, I think I was in corporate America and I was successful.
Okay.
And going from being completely successful, and when I pick up the phone and call somebody, they all automatically pick up the phone because part of who I was and part of who I worked for. And when you're out on your own, that cachet kind of goes away.
Oh yeah, you don't have a call on the.
That's right.
In another department. There's no another department.
To redefine how you get things done. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the things for me, was figuring out how to transform myself. And so now one of the things I also help people with is, how do you make a transformation from where you were to where you want to be next? Because they could be totally different. Mine certainly was. I taught algebra at a community college.
Okay.
I coached people in groups about lots of different things. Groups on how to be more cohesive. Executives and people in business on how to transition from being an individual contributor to actually managing people. And at each level in an organization, you have to learn a different set of skills. So I was really good at that. Okay. Coming out, though, I now have to learn how to be a great entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that is a totally different set of skills.
Yeah, because there's no. Well, first of all, there's no structure to how to be an entrepreneur, right?
Said, Chris, there's no structure.
You flowing, girl.
Right.
That's right. If the road is going this way, you go there. When the road goes this way, you go over here.
Right.
So
a lot of people say they want to be an entrepreneur. They want to work for themselves.
It's not for the weak.
It's just not for the weak.
No, it is really not.
Listen, I'm going to say it again. I came in here today on my sister's shoulder saying, Crystal, this is what's going on with me today. And she just said, okay. She listened and she went right into, but this is what you need to consider. This is okay. We got you. This is what you're going to do. That's what those skills look like.
That's right.
I have to open up my ears, first of all, to be coachable.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right?
You can't decide, well, I know I'm good at this and I know everything and you can't help me.
Right.
Well, I was like that for a while too.
Yeah, because we have these other skill sets that we have, right? It's like, well, if I can do that, and I've been doing it for and I was well accomplished in that area, I can just bring those skills over there and apply them to this. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole nother monster, another beast.
That's right, because what worked for you yesterday may not work for you tomorrow or even today.
Oh, exactly.
And you better be willing to figure out what will work now and how do I change to something that's more beneficial to me today.
Right, exactly. So
I've been fighting Periscope forever, and I was fighting Facebook Live forever.
I'm still fighting.
Twitter. I'm like, I don't have time to be tweeting. Now, I know my sister here, she's going to say, now you all got to get on this Twitter, Instagram. But Jovita, I just don't have time in the day to do that.
Yes, you do. You guys
see.
Hook up.
I understand because I'm having the same issues you are with a lot of that. Now, I have embraced LinkedIn because that's for the corporate side.
Yeah, I've done right. Mm-hmm.
That's where I need to make sure I have a focus.
That's
but
right.
me and Twitter have not been as.
Y'all not as adept as number 45, huh?
Right. Oh, that man 45 at the White House is a Twitter.
He done taken Twitter to a whole nother kind of level.
He sure has.
He feels that's better than the media. That's better than a news reporter is
I
the
need
Twitter.
to take notes. Maybe we need to just take notes from the man.
Yeah, from the
that
number
guy,
45.
That guy, number 45.
Look what he's doing with 40. Look what he's doing with Twitter.
He's doing it, and we're listening. People are listening.
Yeah,
right?
Because you go to bed on Friday, you get through the weekend. Mm-hmm. On Sunday, you be going, oh Lord, what is he gonna do on Twitter today? Yes. And then by Monday, all hell broke loose on Twitter.
On Twitter.
But part of how Obama won was using social media.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the world has changed.
Oh, yes.
So you can't really keep us out, and the social media is really the way to go.
And I've been watching, you guys know Michael Bays. I mean, don't know him personally, but Michael Bays, and he started.
I hate that we don't hear him anymore here in LA.
He's back.
What?
And so he's and I follow him on Facebook.
Really?
This man got it working. So on Facebook, what he does is every morning he'll go, good morning, and he has like a message and a beautiful scenery, and then he gives you a powerful thought for the day.
Yes.
So and right now he just wrote a book. He wrote a book about women. And I think it's about dating and women and the things that we do. We need to get ourselves together and that kind of stuff. So he's been working from that. So, in fact, let me see if I can find it real quick. So he's been getting people to trend with him on Facebook. And he comes up with these great mind-blowing questions, and then he gets people, and they're about relationships, right?
Yes.
And so people are sitting there going, oh, really? Let me have some conversation. And so that keeps him. And then below that, he goes, the Michael Basin Show, tune in at whatever another time. So I think I've been watching him.
That's content marketing.
Content marketing, right?
That's
and that's what we need to do in the areas that we are proficient in.
That's right.
Right? So I'm thinking, and so the other day I was looking and going, I need to be thinking about some content like that.
Me too.
I just am not consistent. Well, no, let me not confess that. I take that back. I need to commit to being consistent.
Right. And that's the right
right.
Because you can do, be, and have anything that you put your mind to.
That's
we just have to decide.
Right. You just have to decide. And there are tools out there. So there's one that I've been using called Hootsuite.
Yeah, Hootsuite. Okay.
And so I had actually signed up for Hootsuite. Okay. I paid for it, and I've been paying for it every month. And then one day I was marketing the show, and I'm thinking, dang, I got to do, because I have my page. I have RBD, Recycling Black Dollars page. I have A Joy of Manifestation, which is my spiritual group, the Bella Network, and I have the BusinessZone, my own personal LinkedIn pages, and Twitter for all of those, right? That's a whole lot. So I have like 10 social media. So one day I'm thinking, why am I doing this onesie twosie? So I went and figured out, it is not that difficult on figuring out Hootsuite. And now I blast it out, and you can schedule it.
Yes, yeah.
So Natalie Goucher had told me about that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, right.
We need to pick her brain more.
Yeah, because you just have to find the tools that are out there, and then I just start.
We need a crystal session.
A crystal session. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go and have lunch or dinner and just have a session where we can just share.
Do a check off list.
Yeah. So we can all make. But we got to get her. She's got we got a few more minutes. We got about 5 more minutes. So we got to get her. Your event sold out.
Yes, absolutely. Again, ladies, I am calling all ladies who are powerful women. This is what I want to say. You don't have to have it all together to come to the workshop. See, some people get intimidated by what it's called, or can I come? Is it for me? Absolutely, it's for you. I am hosting 12 women in the 180-degree power experience. That is Friday, March 31st from 9 a.m. to 4. I have slashed the price to $100.
Okay.
This is an investment of over $1,200 because you're getting 7 hours with me, and you're going to learn 12 tangible, powerful, results-oriented modules on how you can turn your life around just like that in a 180-degree reversal. And so if you're looking to do that in your personal life, in your professional life, right? And you're just, I always say, are you tired or are you done? So, right? So even if you're not sure, this is for you. This is the place to be. So I want you to go to my website, www.deshawnbooker.com. Go to my events page and look at the 180-degree power experience. Or you can call me at 310-291-8519. You can call me there. You can go to my Facebook page, The Maximum Potential Experience. You can go there, and I will be so excited to be able to support and serve you on Friday, March 31st from 9 a.m. to 4 at the Holiday Inn in Torrance, California.
So you guys can just enjoy. We've been talking for the last 45, almost 60 minutes.
Awesome.
And she's awesome. You guys heard us all talking here.
Thank you.
And being coachable and reaching out to someone to help you get past where you are. Yes. This is this young lady. And then Ms. Jovita has this wonderful book, Get Out of Your Own Self Way. So Jovita, how do we get this book?
Well, you can get it from my website, which is jovitajenkins.com, and JovitaJenkins.com, no spaces. Or you can call me, and I can arrange for you to get it, 310-439-2711. And it's also available as an ebook through Smashwords.
Okay.
Smashwords.com.
Nice.
Well, there you go. So you guys have no excuse. We are in a power place.
Yes.
We want everyone to grow. We want everybody to expand. We want you to unleash
right.
that natural power.
Yes.
And the way you do that is you get your own cheering squad. You get your own rah-rah crowd. You get that wrong, but no, that ain't what we doing today. We going and we pushing forward. So you need us as coaches.
That's
That's
right.
what you need.
That's
You need
right.
us to
That's
do what
right.
you need. And then you can reach your potential. And then at that point, you don't care what number 45 is doing because you make it. So if you have no fear on becoming wealthy or rich, if you want to be able to travel the world at your own convenience, for me, someone was asking me the other day, said, Crystal, you just you on it right now. I said, I am. I said, because money means to me as choices.
Yes.
I have to have
Absolutely.
choices. When you don't have money, you have no choices.
Oh, yes.
And you're at somebody's mercy. And as we said earlier at the top of the show, I don't do the grovel thing. I ain't no groveling kind of person.
Right. That's right.
And I'm
That's
about
right.
making a way for myself. And then sometimes that's
And
making a
bringing
way
other
out of no
people
way,
up.
right?
That's
And
right.
bringing
That's
other,
true.
and I bring other people with
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Because I like to have an entourage. I don't like to do nothing by myself.
Yes. Yes.
I like to have people. So
Good stuff.
we have had a great show.
Phenomenal. Awesome.
Right,
Thank
so
you.
You feel better now, Miss? You feel better,
yes,
Deshaun?
yes.
Okay,
On
so
fire.
you're going to better use this video and give them
That's
some
right.
sampling of how counseling on the
That's
the
right.
fly.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And you had this power broker over here. So anybody that's over there in the corporate world that need to know how to navigate it, especially our young people that are just coming into that world, then this is the lady to call. So Miss Jovita Jenkins at jovitajenkins.com.
Yes.
There you go. That's easy. And Deshaun Booker.
Yes, DeshaunBooker.com.
.com. And so we are going to sign off for today. And it's been great. And we will see you next week.
All right.
So long.
Thank you.